Hey guys, so I'm back here with another video today. So this is a 25 subscriber special. Sorry for the delay. I was just deciding what would be the best way to make this, since this is my first text-based tutorial. So I was deciding like how would I exactly do this, and plus the camera. So we also have my microbit right here. So right now we are at python.microbit.org. So we are going to be making a microbit loading animation today using MicroPython. So the website again is python.microbit.org, and so when you come here, you automatically see this screen. So this is the standard screen. So what you can go ahead and do is delete all of this. So now you should have just this, right? And so what you want to do is you want to type in from microbit import and then asterisk, all right? The asterisk is extremely important. This makes sure that we import everything, right? So that way, if you ever want to add anything extra or anything like that, you can use the whole MicroPython library for the microbit. So that really just sets up all the library, all right? And this is the script. You can make the script name whatever you want. I'm just making an animation tutorial. Now we want to type in import music, all right? You do have to import this a bit separately, but it is pretty useful, right, in case you're adding any sound effects, music, anything like that inside your animation, right? I'll specifically be teaching you guys a loading animation, right, but you guys can make this any kind of animation you like. So you want to import music, then you want to define, right? So what we're basically doing is we're just making a define statement. And if you wanna, you can actually just download this whole file, right? And then if you go to load/slave, right, you can open show files and you can add the file, right? So when you do that, you can actually add the file that you just downloaded, right, as a module, right? So then you can just do load, and then it'll do the whole thing, right? Or you can just name it whatever you want. I'll just name it load, right? You can name it animation, you can name it whatever. So def means define. This is what the statement is. This is how we're gonna call it. And these are some little inputs that we're gonna use. All right. This one's gonna be repeat. So how many times do you want to repeat this animation? And V is gonna be volume. So in mine, I'm gonna have a little bit of ending sound. So that volume, right, that'll decide how loud it is, right? So what we want to do is we want to make do an indent, right? So that makes sure it was inside the define. And we'll do frame 1, right? You can name this whatever you want. I just prefer frames. So we can do frame 1 equals, all right? Then you want to do image, all right, with a capital I, and then you can do 5 rows of 5 numbers, all right? So we want a parentheses, right, in both of these. Then you want quotation marks, right? 5 numbers, a colon, and then quotation marks, right? You repeat this for 5 rows until the last one where you do not have a colon, right? I just prefer this way. You can do it all in a line, but that's very hard to imagine, right? So I just prefer you should do it this way. Also, like, so you see a lot of zeros, right? 0 means off, right? And 1 does mean on, but that is the very dimmest, right? So 2 would be brighter than 1, 3 would be brighter than 2, on and on, all the way until 9, alright? So you can just go ahead and do that. I went ahead and typed up 30 frames, so we're already at 153 lines, but that's just because I did 30 frames. You can do less, you can do more, it's completely up to you. So these are all the frames. Now, since they're all frames, right, we're going to make a list, right? So we want to compile this all into a list so that we can use it like a variable. So all frames, all right. So you can do whatever, right? I'm just going to name it all frames equals. Then you have a bracket, all right, and all your frames separated by commas, right? All the frame names separated by commas, and at the very end another bracket. So then after that, what you want to do is you want to have a while statement. Alright, while will mean like, while something is true, do this, right? Once it's not true, stop it. Alright, so what we're going to do is while r is greater than 0, alright? So that will mean while we are still wanting to repeat, right? So while repeat is greater than 0, so repeat is basically, we're going to use that like a variable, that input. so that way we can keep track of how many times we have repeated and how many times are left to repeat, right? So we can do while repeat is greater than 0, all right? Then we're going to keep repeating. And do not forget this colon. That is very important. I remember the last time I forgot a colon and the whole thing just failed. Then, okay, so even though this display, the while is inside the define, right, so it's indented, we're going to do another indent so it stays inside the while, which is inside the define. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do display.show, right, so that is the command to, show something on the microbit display, right here. And I'm going to show, so what we want to show is all frames, right? So the list, whatever list you named it, right, put that here. And then we're going to do a comma. And then we want to do delay equals 100, right? I prefer delay equals 100. You can do whatever. So delay, right, what that is just going to be the delay between every frame, all right? And this is in milliseconds, right? So 100 milliseconds, right? So that will be 0.1 seconds. So there's going to be a delay of 0.1 seconds of a frame. So at that point, it'll just be at 10 frames per second animation. And then what we want to do is you want to set underscore volume to V, alright? So basically, you can do whatever you want. So actually, wait, no, you do have to set underscore volume because that will set the volume of the microbit speaker if you do have a version 2 microbit, like I do right here. So we have the speaker here. If you don't have a version 2 microbit, you can actually skip this part, or you can do the thing where you plug in headphones. Alright, and on the MakeCode website, there is a tutorial on how to plug in your headphones and do all like that. So we'll set volume to V. Then you want to do music.play, right? So that will play some music, alright? And in parentheses, music.ringtone, alright? Now you can make this whatever sound file you want. There's a list of many pre-made sound files here from the music module, right? I'll put this in the description. And you can actually make your own tones as well, right? So you can make your own music as well. So you don't have to use just a pre-made one. You can make your own if you do have a little bit of music expertise. And then what we want to do is we want to reduce R by 1, right? So if we reduce R by 1, then that means eventually it's going to get down to 0, and that this will stop. So basically what we're doing is we're going to keep on minusing repeat by 1 every time we repeat, so that way we repeat exactly how many times we do input. So R equals R minus 1. We can't just do R minus 1 because that just doesn't work like that. So we're basically setting R to R minus 1. That just makes it minus 1. Now, that's our define statement, right? So we have completely defined everything. Now you don't have. Now you make sure that you do not indent this. All right, do not indent this. Then you can basically do whatever we did in the very beginning, right at the very top. If you remember, we did load. All right, you might have done something else. So you do take that part, put it here. All right, at the very right next to the columns. Then in parentheses, you say how many times you want to repeat. Right, that was our R. Then a comma, and then how loud the volume should be. Remember that a microbit volume goes from 0 to 255, right? I'm making 255 because it's just easier to sound. So let's go ahead and flash this and see how it works. So if this works correctly, we should have this at max volume, and it should go 3 times. Let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, so now you can see it did happen 3 times, right? So we saw the animation repeat 3 times that I made, and then we did hear the sound as well. So yeah, that's really it, right? And go ahead, get creative, make whatever you want. You can even make, I guess, a movie, honestly, right? A very short movie, right? So say you're on a road trip and you're kind of bored, you can just, and you already made this and you flashed it into your microbit, you can just take a battery pack and kind of watch it over and over again. So yeah, that was today's video, how to make animations. Yeah, so next video I might be doing a text engine for Scratch, alright? because my score counter video really got pretty popular. It's over 260 views, like maybe around 270 now. So it's really, like my best video so far. So I decided I'm gonna do a text engine video soon, using pen and clone, right? So you guys can choose which one you want, which one suits you better, and then yeah, that's really it. And I might even do a microbit supercontroller video on Scratch as well, where we're gonna combine our microbit and our Scratch knowledge together to make a really cool project. This was Drexy, and I'll see you next time.